If he's going to be 3-2, because that might have some implications for how this round robin plays out. I think we'll see. We'll see what the spots are like. They're still fighting for the 1, 2, 3 of Group B. But here we go. Sizouney. Oh, he's got the track jacket on.
Oh man,
he's ready to go.
Sprints.
I guess you're
my man bringing out Forrest first. This is what we like to see. All right, so
no, I don't like to see this at all. Like, no, I don't. You like to see this. I don't want to see this.
So the reason why I said, and his list looks very similar to the list that I run. So on point, Sizouney, once again. So the reason why I say that Forrest has a really tough time with these neutral decks is because it runs into the same problem as a lot of the other decks. As in, if neutral can put down a lot of toughness on the board early, Forrest has a really hard time dealing with that. It's got 1 damage spells, it's got 2 damage spells, it's got little tiny fairies that it has to use to evolve to keep tempo. It doesn't really deal with huge wide boards early in the game. So if he can get to a mid game to where he's slowed the rune deck down, he can win, but it's an uphill battle against all these neutral decks, I'll tell you.
Yes, and he has managed to ward off quite a bit of damage so far with his Sylvan Justice. Now, I have a very important question for you. This is quite possibly the most important question I could ask on the Shadowverse Open.
Okay.
What do you think that Sizouney is eating right now?
on stage.
Brain food, man. Brain food. You need it for the roach match.
No, I think he's eating ice cream. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll even go as far as to gamble what type of ice cream it is. Okay.
What is it?
I think it's peanut butter ice cream.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. I can go with that. That's what I would be eating if I could eat ice cream right now. Something mixed with Butterfingers, you know? Ah, I love it.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's a pivotal turn. If Derxello wants to be offensive or defensive here.
No crying. No looking back.
Like, does he want to clear off the fairies?
I think you go offensive here. Like, if you look at Derxello's hand, he has the Wizardess in hand. He also has Twin Guardians, so he could jam that. That's incredibly difficult for Sizouney.
Again, this is what I'm talking about. Why go half and half? Why only go half damage to face? Like, I don't think there's really any reason to kill both of those.
Right.
Like, you either kill both or you go all face. Like, you don't half measure it.
I think Sizouney is probably a little happy that that trade took place because he just basically, you know, bailed out on a lot of damage that he would have taken.
Derxello's also playing a combo that's amazing against Forrest in Wizardess of Oz and Twin Guardians that'll pop out 2 3/3 wards. So even if the matchup wasn't favored enough, he's got this combo right now. Well, he's playing it early, so it's not going to be as good as if you waited until Roach combo turns, but it exists in his deck. So even more of an edge.
Well, the thing is that it's still pretty good right now because we can definitely see that Sizouney does not have an answer to all of these followers in hand. And this is one of the problems that Forrest kind of has, is that, you know, it doesn't, outside of like a few cards, it doesn't have like straight up hard removal for the most part. And the removal it does have is very dependent on the cards that you have in hand. So...
Yep. So we're going to see if he can last. He is playing Elf Queen. Elf Queen is a 7-play .66 that will remove all shadows that you have accumulated this game, and you gain health equal to that amount. So it's kind of like a reset button, kind of like Reno Jackson from another game that we don't talk about. But it can reset you all the way back to full from a kind of dire strait. So it's definitely something that's really good against neutral as well, because neutral can't really come, you know, crashing from 20 back down to 0 unless it has a board. It can't do a lot of out-of-hand damage after the EVA points are gone. So it can be a nice little reset button if the game gets to that point.
But the problem that we're about to see right here, this area is going to get involved, and this is going to be a juicy board that's going to be very difficult to deal with.
You might even just have to cash in the Elf Queen now, honestly.
Yeah, but even with the Elf Queen getting cashed in, I mean, there's the Alice sitting in hand with, you know, like, there's a ton of...
Listen, we don't talk about Alice here, okay? Alice is not fair. Alice is just not fair.
Hey man, I just called the match. Okay, it has nothing to do with fairness. It's like I just called the match.
But yeah, this is a great Alice turn, of course, and then he can follow it up with 2 other 2-drops, or actually, he doesn't have board space for that, so 1 other drop with probably the Goblin Mage then.
He's definitely going to be trading into this Elf Queen. He can't let it sit there. Because Elf Queen's going to basically set up a way for Sizouney to possibly get lethal due to the 2 roaches and nature's guidance in it. So he has to trade with this Elf Queen. There's no way that he can let it sit there.
That's true, and he can do it... Well, actually, it's not easy for him to do this.
Oh no.
The little ones are 4? Yeah, all 4. So yes, yeah, he has to double trade if he wants to get rid of it. Are you sure he's thinking about doing that?
Well, I'm not saying that he has to do it. I'm saying that I wouldn't want to leave a position where my opponent could roach combo me on board. And
so it's just a matter of how much you've played roach. So the thing is, like, if there's only 1 0-cost card that Sizouney has access to, think about how much damage you have to deal with the combo, right? 20 damage is too high for 1 0-cost card on turn 8. So I would have just gone all face and just set up for...
No, it's not necessarily that.
The next turn.
It's not, for me, it's not necessarily even just that. It's that you're leaving, like, 8 damage on board, puts him at 12. And you're saying at 8...
Oh, I guess I didn't even count that. You're right.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, it's like,
you know what? Forget what I'm saying. I'm like, he's got to deal 20 damage. No, he's got to deal 12 damage. I know. I know. Okay, I know. He could have easily dealt 12 damage. Forget everything I'm saying, okay? For some reason, I don't know why I was thinking this, but like after the attack, he's still at 20. That's where my brain was at, okay? Sometimes my brain functions, sometimes it doesn't function. It's okay. So, Derxello making the good play. I'm not the one in the hot seat, so he's the one that needs to make the good plays, okay?
That's fair. That's fair. But you know it's a bad day when I'm doing better roach math than you are.
Now, to get back to this roach math here, we're actually closing in on a time where Sizouney could actually get there. So I feel like the fact that he gets his Evo point back here to kind of trade with the board, if Derxello doesn't have another good push after this, we're closing in on just going to turns 9, going to turns 10, and just giving Sizouney time to build up the 20 damage that he needs.
Yeah, and Sizouney is very close to it. Again, you getting that Evo point back, very valuable. Very valuable.
As a matter of fact, let me see if I can do my quick roach math right now to see how much damage can be dealt. So he's got access to all 3 roaches. So 6 play points already out of the water, so he can do things with 3 play points, which means he can cast the 3 spells in his hand. And yeah, I think he already counted it. He's got it.
You know, I see Sizouney messing with his phone. Do you think that Sizouney may be playing on an alternate account on ladder? Because, like...
No, I think he's playing this on his phone.
Is he really? Are you playing it on your phone, Sizouney? You gotta tell me, man. And he's waiting on it! Like, he's...
The hunt has only begun.
So Sizouney showing everybody how it's done. That's how you win with Roach, baby.
He's looking at me.
That's right, Sizouney. Show people that Forest isn't dead.
Hey,
now I can officially get my Nerf Forest shirt, and it will make sense.
Wait. I wish you kind of got a shot of what he was eating, because I wanted to know if it was peanut butter ice cream or not. But he looked right into the... No, he is eating peanut butter ice cream. His name is Peanut Butter. Yo!
Peanut Butter doing it dirty. Okay, so for those of you who don't know Roach really quick, it's one of my favorite cards. It's just a 2-play.11 that gets that has Storm, and it gets +1/+0 for every card previously played. So essentially you're trying to set up a turn where you can play a bunch of spells, play out all your Roaches so they get huge like we just saw, that can just end the game in one turn, and you just kind of try to control the game / stay alive until that happens. Now what we've seen is it can't really contend with a lot of the decks, but against the matchup that he was heavily not favored in, he did work. He did over 20 damage a single turn, okay?
It's kind of what Rainey said in a way. Like, he said that maybe, you know, Derxello kind of works in reverse in the matchups that he's heavily favored in. He just kind of breaks it.
Right.
So, I mean, it kind of played out like that. Sorry, Derxello. But like, it just kind of played out
let me tell you, in the next year or so, you're gonna have so much good luck come to you, because I can't imagine anybody going through what you went through this NGE season and not being able to turn that around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a complete house, just like Rainey was saying. So this matchup, quite similar. It's kind of like a Roach deck what Sizouney's playing, but different in the sense that you don't necessarily always have to OTK in one turn. You can kind of build up boards, deal a little bit of damage here, deal a little bit of damage there.
Unbelievable.
Oh.
You know that you see this, right? This is not looking good.
Who's as old as dirt?
You're done for.
No. Derxello has a great hand right now. He's got Felice into Hector, into more card draw with Witch of Sweets. He's got a really good draw. But Sizouney's got a good draw too. I mean, other than the fact that he's got 2 Conjuring Forces in his hand, he doesn't need both of those. His hand's looking okay.
I would be jamming Sizouney's face at infinitum right now.
Yeah, 100%. Brace the crap out of Conjuring Force.
Yeah. And what is Sizouney going to do about this with his hand? Like,
honestly, yeah. He can't even kill the Felice. Well, actually, he can. He can if he uses a Blade Mage. But then Goblin Mage survives, and then the Evo point. And the Hector, yeah.
So it's like, what does he even do, you know?
Let's see. Yeah, there's no way to deal with both effectively enough.
Golly, it's chilly here.
It won't be long
Yeah,
now.
so he's just hoping and praying that there's not another damage.
Ooh, this is real scarf.
Yeah. Neutral Rune not having enough damage. Yeah.
On the warfield.
Yeah.
Plenty of cards
I kind
to
of
do
believe
stuff.
that. No, said it.
Looks like you won.
Yeah.
Back in quick.
So if Forest has a bad matchup versus neutral, Conjuring Force has an even worse matchup depending on its draw. Like, if it doesn't get effective enough early game, it will just crumble to neutral, because as you can see, it just really does. Like, it has 3 damage, it has 2 damage, evoed 1/1s for 3 damage, but it can't really deal with big wide boards. It can't deal with even really big, like Felice, for instance. Completely unable to deal with that in a realistic way. So, yeah. I mean, like, even if he did use 3 cards to deal with it plus an Evo, you know what I mean? It's only killing one of the cards in play. So, Sizouney has to get a really good draw in order to push through yet another neutral deck that Derxello is bringing here.
You know what card that Sizouney's going to need in the early game here? Oh, going first certainly helps, but he's going to need some kaleidoscopic glows.
Yes, absolutely. And what we've been seeing is he likes to keep his magic missiles and things like that. I don't like that, especially against these neutral decks. Yeah. They don't kill anything.
Yeah, exactly.
They
don't. I don't know what he's doing, but sure. But we see Derxello. He's going second, but he's got a great curve, and he's going to get some actual really according to the current configuration. He's going to get some value out of his rabbit ear attendant possibly. So, yeah. Ooh,
100%. Yeah, he's got a great draw. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Sizouney, not a bad draw, but not. Oh, okay. His hand just got way better.
That's better. That's better.
Way better.
Finally a break.
I'm just amazed.
And just so you guys know, the reason that he chose to trade in the manner that he did was because he wants to prevent taking as much damage.
Hurry up.
Yes. It's not about value in this early game. It's all about preventing as much damage as possible, because if it can get to a mid game, then he can start to take over.
Yeah. I like this. Well, I don't know. Trade. Oh, he's gonna bounce it back. I like that. I like that play.
I like
he's
that.
Just saying.
This gives him a levy for next turn as well. Yep.
Yep. Say, all right, I'm gonna take damage this turn. That's fine. You know, he's fine with that.
Plus, you know, he's playing a sword. Geno's always an option. It could prevent the Evo point, you know what I mean? Or, I mean, prevent just, like, free value being traded off.
Unbelievable.
But in a way, again, he has opted to just take damage over that. So, it's certainly something to consider. But anyway, we're past that.
Done for.
Down.
Just like back in the old days.
A job well
But-
done.
So this will clear as much as he can, except for the Unica.
Finally
Yeah.
a break.
But the problem that we have now is that Council of Card Knights is a thing. Oh my
And two.
goodness, man!
All
What
of
is
the
that
Alwitas in
hand?
the world.
It won't be long
What is
now.
that hand? Like,
Yeah, this is just full out aggression and nastiness.
No, no.
What hand? Like, there is nothing.
There's not really anything. Like there could be a miracle Daria, you know what I mean? Like the best possible Daria we've ever seen.
Yeah, he's gonna have to
and
win
it
Daria.
probably still isn't good enough.
No, he's got three Alwitas sitting in hand, dude. Like, there's
Count
literally
'em.
nothing. Nothing. Three.
Your Majesty.
Three. Most people only run
With
two.
a bang and
He's
boom.
fucking three. Like, oh, wow.
That was a pretty good Daria.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not gonna lie, that was about as good as he could have hoped for.
Yeah, I mean, he does get the Blade Mage,
It
but
won't be long now.
yeah, it is though. I think it's good.
I don't like this Evo at all.
Majesty.
Bad,
Atone with your lifeblood.
but whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's leaving the Bane. I mean, not that he really had a choice in that matter, but this is the easy just jam out weed.
With me, Captain.
Yeah. 100% you just jam out Weedas until your opponent's dead at this point.
Yeah, right.
And you know, there would be literally
All
nothing
ends
wrong.
here.
Okay, so now with that, like I said, there is a chance with a perfect Daria. So that Daria was pretty insane. The problem is that the only really follow up of Rhymewind into a Conjuring Force is even taken away because both the Conjuring Forces got mulled in the first Daria, right? Or was that last game?
Chilly here.
That was the last game. He didn't have.
Oh,
any-
last game he had 2 Conjuring Forces, not this game. Okay. So there would still be a possibility of a top deck Conjuring Force going to town here. So there is a possibility for Sizouney to maybe win this
With
game.
me, Captain.
This is a nail biter. Okay, we know
I
the
mean,
power
it's
of Conjuring.
this turn or not, though. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's a not. Well, maybe not.
He needed to get it off
Okay,
the
it's
top.
definitely
Like, he
not
needed
now.
all of those spells, yeah.
Yeah. So we're actually gonna see
Blimey.
Sony's Conjuring Force take 2 L's. How do you feel about that right now?
I think, you know what? He deserves it. And the reason I say that, not even to be mean to Sizouney, because I love the fact that he brought it to the tournament and he piloted it to a 3-0 in the early beginnings of this tournament. Laziness! Laziness, Sizouney. People know you're playing it. They know how to tech against you. They know what you're doing. You gotta change it up, brother.
Yeah.
But,
Sizouney-
Derxello, good on him. Showing him that those houses, he can knock them down too.
Yeah. he brought a demolition team in today. You know,
That's
he was
right.
like,
Sizouney takes the loss. Will end up 3-2 after getting 3 straight wins early on in the round robin.